All right, so the question was how, when I heard the Learned Astronomer, that poem, relates or is a romantic poem. Obviously, it's not a love poem, and we talked about that in class how romantic poetry is not, definitely not love poetry. So if you come down here, you got these notes. I tried to simplify it a little bit, but anyway, Romanticism kind of revolts against a couple of things, and then it stresses a couple of things. It revolts against the aristocratic political and social norms, and it was a reaction against scientific rationalization of nature. It's not too complicated. It just was kind of going against the whole idea that nature is very scientific and we need to make scientific solutions and graphs and charts out of it and all of that. And on the opposite end, it stressed strong emotional connection, especially to nature, and it placed emphasis on the experience of nature and how emotions could come out of that. So what you want to do to address the question is explain how this poem is a romantic poem. In other words, how this poem goes along with the definition of romanticism. So what you want to do is come up here, and we did this in class a little bit, so it shouldn't be too difficult or too hard to remember. You've got these last three lines here that talk about rising and gliding out. I wandered off by myself in the mystical moist night air, and from time to time looked up in perfect silence at the stars. This is the part of romanticism where you've got the emotions. Now you can decide what emotions we're dealing with right there. I'm not here to tell you what emotion that would be or what combination, but just that it is the emotional part of it. And he talks very clearly about experiencing it for himself, it being nature. All right, so those last three lines. So how did he get there? He started out at a lecture with proofs and figures and columns, charts, diagrams, dividing, adding, measuring, okay? So we've got this lecture. Now how does that relate? Well, that relates to this first part, the revolt against political and social norms and the reaction, especially this one, the reaction against scientific rationalization of nature. So Walt Whitman here is trying to show us that, you know what, we don't necessarily need to always do the facts and figures to appreciate or learn about nature. Sometimes we can just experience it and experience the emotion of it on our own. Hope that helps. Have a great day.